welcome to Attic Raiders Retro Reviews, where today we're travelling from England to Scotland, Wales to Orkney, as we battle the undead and search for the bones of Albion. Britain, The Bones of Albion by Osprey Games is released here in the UK on September 25th and is the fifth expansion for Joseph McCullough's skirmish wargame The Silver Bayonet. The latest in the world tour of Napoleonic gothic horror from Italy to Carpathia and Egypt to Canada, it's great to see Joseph bringing the game setting here to our own home country. Albion refers to the ancient name for Britain, and the bones of Albion refers not just to literal skeletal bones, but is also the name given to a set of standing stones that's used in a druidic ceremony to try and bring death to the invading Romans. According to the gamebook's lore, the mystic ceremony was never completed. Instead, the stones were vandalized and scattered throughout Britain, and ever since they've been leaking twisted magic, which is bringing undeath to Britain's centuries of invaders. Not just the Romans, but also Anglo-Saxons, Scotty, Normans, Danes and Norwegians. Each bone of Albion once found can have its own unique influence on gameplay, and there's brand new unexpected event and unexpected encounter tables for critical initiative rolls that are going to add new twists to the scenarios. The book introduces an 8-scenario campaign in which players will search for the 7 lost bones of Albion while battling ghosts, zombies and skeletons from throughout British history. So if you love the undead, you're in luck. The new bestiary introduces 13 new types of living dead, including head takers, berserkers, skin changers which can play as undead animals, mounted spectral cavalry and wizards that can control the weather. Beyond the undead though, there's not much else. Civilians are introduced and pixies from the main core rulebook make a reappearance in one of the scenarios, but the only new British creature to be introduced is a lindworm, a form of gigantic draconic serpent which is perhaps best known in the English legend of the Lambton Worm. I realise that a lot of British creatures were already covered in the core rulebook, but as a Britain-specific expansion, it's a bit of a pity that it doesn't include some of our famous beasties like kelpies, selkies, banshees, the Loch Ness Monster, the Nuckelavee, Jenny Greenteeth, Redcap or Spriggan. As far as the practicalities of planning and running a campaign go, if you're okay with a bit of generalisation, then most of the scenarios in here can be played with fairly bog standard medieval looking ghosts or zombie figures, so you're not going to have to hunt down lots of very specific models. That said, if you want to go all out, North Star will be selling undead Romans and Saxons to coincide with Bones of Albion, or the Wargames Atlantic Pulp Zombies kit comes with Viking, Roman and Dark Ages zombie heads, as well as Napoleonic French and British zombie heads, which are perfect for kit bashing with historical mini kits. Fireforge also does living dead soldiers, which could be painted up as zombies or as ghosts. The 8 scenarios in the Bones of Albion are all set in real historical sites, most of which I have to say I've never heard of before, so it's pretty cool to be able to sit down and research and learn some more about British history. From Hardknott Fort in Cumbria and Trier Cieri in northern Wales, the Brow of Bursey in Orkney, and Alfred's Castle in Oxfordshire, most of the terrain is ancient ruined encampments, requiring only broken down stone walls, boulders, trees and a few bushes. So most of it should be really easy to set up with not a lot of specific pieces needed. There's just one scenario which requires 5 stone roundhouses and another one which needs quite a few boggy pools, but these should be quite easy for experienced gamers to make. Besides the 8 scenario competitive campaign, there are no cooperative campaigns or solo campaigns, there's no new units, and there's only one new soldier type, the Bow Street Runner, which is a late 18th century police officer that comes equipped with 2 pistols. There are 2 new items of equipment, the Sword of Gawain and the Horn of Hereward, but these can only be found by successfully searching clue markers. Retailing at £14.99, the Bones of Albion is 64 pages long. shorter than most Stargrave or Frostgrave expansions, but the same length as the majority of the other Silver Bayonet expansions. It's really nicely presented in a faux aged and weathered style with colour printed pages throughout, and content and pages are well laid out with 18 new black and white images from Brainbug Design which look great. Now, I know it kind of goes against the whole historical aesthetic that Silver Bayonet is going for, but personally, I would like to see some colour photographs of North Star's Silver Bayonet figures scattered throughout the pages of this book, just as they are in Osprey Games' other offerings, Frostgrave and Stargrave. There are 4 colour photographs of miniatures on the final page, but I know that there are a lot more official pictures that exist and could have been used. What do you think? I've had my say, but how do you feel about the Silver Bayonet, the Bones of Albion, or any of the points that I've brought up? I'd love to read your thoughts in the comments down below. I'd like to thank Osprey Games for sending me the Bones of Albion to read and review, and I really look forward to playing this as soon as I finish my current Stargrave Quarantine 37 campaign. I'll be back next time with more vintage board game and wargaming reviews, so until then, this is Attic Raiders Retro Reviews.